the bunny. And it's a fox. Hey there, nerds. So this thing's kind of cool. This is another 3D printed fidget made by Alfonso Quinn. He is the guy behind. He's the guy behind making. I first came into contact with Alfonso on the Facebook groups because he was making custom wrapped inserts because he does a lot of 3D printing. So he was making like inserts that you couldn't get from Jonas, of most works, and just making ones where you had different magnets you could put in, right? Like making 4 clicks and stuff like that, right? So he's making this now, and he just kind of told me like, hey, do you want to try, my new slider? And I was like, yeah, cool. I didn't know you were making a 3D printed slider. And he's like, I am making a 3D printed slider. Do you want it? I was like, yes, I do, Alfonso. So, yeah, here it is. The funny thing is that we were talking about it, and Alfonso's great. Like, I basically just, like, give him money. I'm like, take money, Alfonso. He's like, no, it's good. And I'll just send it to you. And I'm like, for God's sake, dude, here's some money. And I'll just like PayPal him like $50 or something like that, But he was just gonna like be like, oh no, I'll just ship it to you. It's whatever, right? So one of the reasons he's like, no, don't take any money, because the only way I've ever gotten stuff from Alfonso is just in like letter mail, right? He'll just like throw some 3D inserts in like a letter and send it to me. And it's always arrived, and it's great. And there's no tracking, so it's kind of like, but it's like, it's always gotten here. It's great, all the way from US to Canada. So we were talking about, how he could send this to me very cheap. And he's like, I'll think about it. Let me figure it out. And it turned out that it was to send 1/2 at a time. So I get a letter, and it just has the bunny half in it, folded up in a couple pieces of paper and stuff, and then there it was. And I was like, cool, I got the bunny half. And there's a short somewhere that I published, and I think I had this thing on it or whatever, and I was just like, well, there's the bunny half, and it's looking good so far. So yeah, but now I have 2. I got the full thing. So the bunny and the fox, he basically asked me, he said, because he showed me a little video of one he had made, and he had put like this pattern into it, right? And he said, do you want anything in there? And I was like, if it's not too much trouble, right? And he's like, yeah, no, it's cool. What are you thinking? And I was like, I don't know, like a bunny on one side, a fox on the other. He was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Like, see if I can do that. And I'm like, okay, like don't take too much time with it, right? And then no, he came back and he was like, yeah, did it. There it is. And I thought he did a really good job. And then he was like, God, he's really jumping. Then he was like, do you want it to glow? And they do glow. Here, let me show you. They actually glow kind of cool. That one. Get them really charged up. So, I'm going to turn the light off maybe. Kind of see that light. I have so many lights on here. There we go. So yeah, glow show. It's kind of cool. I mean, I've come to the realization that like glow stuff can be a little overrated sometimes, because it's like, when are you gonna keep a freaking UV flashlight on you, or when are you gonna go and like get something all charged up in the sun? I never charge up glow stuff in the sun. Takes so long, and it is a waste of time, and I don't really have much time. So I only use this kind of flashlight, and it charges it up in seconds. But it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's really neat, but like, yeah, I don't know. Unless you go to raves and stuff like that, you got like black light around everywhere and stuff like that. It'd be a really cool place to take. If you rave or something like that, cool place to take a slider that glows. Anyway, Turn the lights back on. Lights, camera, action. Okay. Other way. So that's the reason there's a fox and bunny in there, and it glows, and it's made of 3D stuff. And then look at this. I thought it was really cool. I haven't asked him about this, but this looks like, you know, it looks like it like he's developed some sort of way to just have it like click in. Isn't that neat? I'm not going to try to open it up or anything like that. There's definitely nothing modular about this. But yeah, it looks like this click in top or something like that. That's cool. It is rattly, right? So if you don't like rattle, don't get it. Don't even ask them. I don't know, maybe you would do one silent, but again, 3D printed. And I'm saying again, because if you watch any of my other videos with 3D printed stuff, pretty much all of them rattle. Because every, person that makes 3D printed stuff is going to, they try to make them that don't rattle. But what you end up with is this thing that slides really nice. And then when you go to, do your clicks down, you get haptic feeling, right, for the magnets, and basically no sound, right? It's basically silent. It just doesn't really work with the 3D printed material. So with the way he has done the magnets and making them rattle, it is very satisfying. It is like a good loud. It is an annoying loud. You will piss everyone off around you if you do it. It is not subtle enough for that. So do not do this on the bus or anything like that. You may get punched in the face. I don't know where you live. Here no one will punch me in the face because I live in Canada and everyone keeps to themselves, and it's really nice. Yeah, so that's nice. And then, so the sliding thing. So he's got tape on one side. Does he have tape on one side? I thought I saw that. Was it tape on two sides? Yeah, that's tape. Yeah, he's taped both sides, and I could tell he's used, I've never been able to get it because it's, I tried to, but like, one of the guys, Mark Chang, on the groups was always talking about this 3M tape, like called, it was like skived UHMV tape or something. I can't remember the exact name of that tape now. But skived, I think, is the idea that it was like, it's kind of like that Teflon sliding tape, but it's even thinner. It's like thin stuff, and it's supposed to be the best sliding tape. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's got on there, because I know he was laser cutting tape for fidgets and stuff, so they would fit perfectly right on your like Compiform things and stuff like that. And he mentioned he was using that kind of tape. So that's what he's got on both sides. So that's why it's sliding nice. But again, and I say again because I mention this in every 3D printed video I do, is that again, it's flat. It's just flat, right? So all you 3D printed fidget guys, you gotta start like putting a pattern in there or something like that, something different, right? Because if you don't want to use tape, you can't have like full contact friction going across. Even if you look at, sliders, most sliders do have that full, contact kind of thing when they're sliding, but they've got something else like going on. Like they've got the little air pockets, that Black Dog Labs does and Magnus does, right? And those sliders, they wouldn't be able to slide with their brass plates or their Zerk plates or their stainless steel plates that Black Dog Labs has now. Unless they had those little air pockets, right, to allow it to kind of move a little bit more. So yeah, my critique would be to start thinking of something else you can put on there to make it slide without the tape. Tape, yes, sure, you can replace it, right? And it's a 3D printed slider. It's cheap. It's easy to buy another one and stuff if it gets messed up. But I don't like to think of these things as disposable, right? I'd like to think of it as something that you can take care of and keep using and using and using. And then the funny thing is that I discovered completely accidentally that he's kind of, do you remember the V2? Does anyone remember the Compiform V2? The one that would slide like on either side of itself, like just perfectly fine? Well, Alfonso kind of like inadvertently, I think, created that. Because this thing, it doesn't matter what side you put it on. You could just flip it around and just keep using it on every side. And the funny thing is, and it actually kind of makes sense, it slides better on the bunny and fox side because it's got a little bit of like air pocket there, and there's a bit more of like texture things going on and stuff. I don't know if it's going to slide like that easier on that side for a long period of time, but I noticed that right away when I'm pretty sure I accidentally just like slipped it over there, and there it is. It was just like sliding, and I was like, oh, oops, oh wait, that actually works. So, and then then I couldn't do it. So yeah, there you go. So he's making those now. They're cool. I'll link him again. Linked him in a lot of my videos. Doing some cool stuff. And then, but like, do pay him. Like, force money upon him. Okay, like you gotta pay this man. He really likes to just do a lot for the community and stuff like that. But Alfonso, your time is worth something. Okay, you gotta remember that, right? Sure, maybe it's 3D printed resin, 3D printed resin that doesn't really cost a lot and stuff. But magnets cost money. You cost money. Your time costs money. All right. So guys, go get one. And yeah, if he says he doesn't want any money, just like PayPal him money. Okay. So there you go. Alfonso Huyn's new 3D printed slider. It's pretty cool. Go grab one. All right. That's about it, nerds. That's all I got. I'm going to play with this thing. Get out of here. Bye.